tuning in to the online broadcast network, AfterBuzz TV. Over 20 million weekly downloads in over 150 countries, and your number one source for after-show entertainment. AfterBuzz TV, the destination for TV superfans, producing after-shows for over 300 of your favorite TV shows, interviewing celebrities and showrunners, and bringing you behind-the-scenes exclusives. All thanks to E! Entertainment's Maria Menounos, producer Kevin Undergaro, and internet leader Akamai. Now, let the buzz begin!
Yup.
I got requests to rap.
Nobody knows where they might end up. Nobody.
It's the morning commute and you going through the tunnel and then the tunnel collapses. What you gonna do cause you pregnant and your man is in the car. He's trapped in the car. What's gonna happen? Oh.
And I got requested to dance.
And I got requested to just look fabulous. We all did our jobs very well.
We did.
Happy Thursday, everybody. Welcome to the Grey's Anatomy After Show here on AfterBuzz TV. Jason J. Carter here, joined by my lovely lady co-host. Hey, girls.
Hey, I'm Julie Partin.
And I'm Starr Session, and I'm so glad to be back after last week's funny episode. Everyone was thinking I was hilarious. Let's see if I can do that again this week.
If you could recreate the magic.
Can I do it? Dun, dun, dun.
You are. And I'm a little under the weather today. The girls are forcing me to be here, so if I'm not fun after buzzers, don't judge me.
We're sort of forcing him to be here, but at the same time, like putting up an invisible
I'm like, don't breathe.
You know,
on me.
I'm used to the horrible treatment from Starr Session weekly, but to this week it's both of them. So it's okay. It's all right.
Whatever.
I'm so dramatic.
Yeah, you are. So let's talk about tonight's. Or do we have any things about last week's episode? So we've been recapping the last week's episode afterwards. No?
There was just some things we caught and some things we didn't catch, but I feel like the consensus with all the Grey's fans was the same, that we're glad that it wasn't a 2-hour funeral.
Right.
We were disappointed that they skated over it.
Right.
Because we could have used a little funeral.
Right.
But we are glad that the show moved on.
And, and apparently there was a fake Sandra Oh sighting.
Yeah, everyone was saying there was a body double. We didn't rewind it,
So
but
stupid.
someone was like, I saw a body double. And I'm like, I'm believing it if you saw it. I'm with you on that one.
ABC would not waste their time bringing in Sandra Oh for just a scene.
No.
You know what I mean? No. And then not promote it. So, yeah, it was okay. The funeral was just like, okay, he died, it's done. Meredith, she's still a little bit too okay with everything, even in this episode. She does have a breakdown, which is very weird. It wasn't. She's not a good crier. Her and Kim Kardashian win the award for the world's best ugly cries.
But I do think she's
ugly
a good
cries
crier. I think her cries are really, really on point most of the time.
Can you cry on point, Julie? Can you cry on you're an actress as well, so do you cry? Are you a good crier?
I can't cry as good as Meredith.
No.
I think Ellen Pompeo really can bring that subtle tear.
Yeah.
Tonight was a little much with a
And then
the ugly cry.
Yeah.
Then
she's like,
then she threw down her.
Sorry, that's my ugly cry.
She threw down her folders and then was like, okay, pull together. It's like weird.
I will say
What will you say, Julie?
Tonight was one of my favorite episodes of the entire season.
Very good episode. And
It was a good episode. It was action packed. There was a lot going on.
There was similar
good patient
hairstyles.
stories.
It was like, oh yeah.
That was weird. They came back and all the white girls had the same haircut.
They had the lob.
Okay, so explain the lob, because I was like, what's a lob?
I can't believe you didn't know what
Starr
that is.
Session.
I've
What
straight up asked my hairdresser for a lob before.
Oh my
I had a
goodness.
lob last year when I had my extensions. And
Well,
it was
explain
cute.
it for the people
Just
that don't
kidding.
know like me.
A lob is a long bob.
Boom, there it is.
The
I didn't
lob.
know that.
It sounds ridiculous. It's like dad bought him mom jeans. The lob. Stupid.
The lob. Sounds like a blob, but got it.
Lob.
But it's a
The
bob.
long
but
bob, yeah.
Long bob, got it.
Yeah, it's like
Got
the
it.
Rachel, but in 2015.
The big thing is that not only does she have a lob, but April has a middle part.
April, okay, look, I'm gonna go ham sandwiches on April. April
No,
looks
don't say
real rugged, real real Ellen DeGeneres.
She went to war.
Yo,
She looks
she
like
came back
somebody
rocked out.
who cares less about her hair.
But what is the deal with just because you're having a lob? Why aren't the surgeons pulling back their hair into a pony? It just seems like a hazard. They're just bouncing with their loose curls. It just seemed like I want to throw it in a pony.
Because maybe they didn't have a stringy thing you guys wear.
Hair ties.
A scrunchie. Is that what you call them, scrunchies?
Hair ties.
Surgeons would never go to work without a stringy thingy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's a hair tie.
Scrunchy hair
Scrunchies
tie.
are
Totally
when
a hair
there's
tie.
a lot of fabric around the hair tie. and
Yeah,
that
those are so
hasn't happened.
1990s.
Yeah.
So very
Sex and the
there's
City.
the red scrunchie. All right. Well, I mean, so there you go. I don't know. Maybe they didn't want to have scrunchies, but I'm liking all. I mean, even Amelia's hair looked fantastic.
No.
Yeah, I think so.
That was a no. She was looking cute last week.
Okay, Amelia's hair had its off and on moments. It was a little swooped back.
Yeah.
It seems like Amelia goes from okay hair to Disney princess.
Yes.
Just really, really seamlessly.
And her personality.
Whatever.
She goes from sane and not needing a 5150 hold to
Let's start from the top of the episode.
Let's do it.
So, at the name of the episode is Time Stops, right? And that was the first line of the episode where Meredith was like, time stops when you're in the OR. Things are happening. You don't realize how, time is really going because you're just thinking about being a surgeon, being the best surgeon you can be.
Sure.
So it was really interesting how we started off with, we got to see another flashback of Derek. They're like literally like weaning us off of Derek, you know?
Seriously.
Like, they have little flashbacks here, little flashbacks there. And then she gets waken up out of her moment of flashbacking. And everyone's like, did I miss it? And we're like, what did they miss? What's going on? What did they miss? And weren't you guys a little excited? Like, what did you think that they missed?
I don't know, but the second I saw fresh meat interns, stoked.
Yeah.
You guys know I love the new interns.
Really?
Yes, because they're
great.
just these young people, and we're going to remember when
They'll look
our people were
well
interns.
rested.
Yeah.
Yeah, we're going to just see them mock them. We're going to see them almost kill people.
Yes.
It's the best.
Yeah, it's going to be a fun little twist to have that.
Loving how Stephanie Edwards is the new Christina Yang.
Yeah, she's the new it girl, right?
Right.
She's essentially the new Bailey, though.
Oh,
Because
okay.
it has come that full circle because Bailey was giving the introduction to Christina Yang before Christina Yang was all mean.
That's
Right.
true. That's true. Oh my gosh, it's totally full circle. But
And
it
the
was really
music-
cute.
it was.
The music repeated
Absolutely.
from when they were back
The
were
first
back to
episode.
interns from
The
the
first
first
episode,
episode.
The same speech, even.
Well, I loved how the montage went in from Meredith walking into the OR room, like when she was fresh and young. And then, so I thought we were still in the flashback, but then we realized it's the new intern. So I kind of liked how they did that editing wise. Did you guys
I like
notice
the
that?
whole beginning. And the fact where they were showing old Chief with his little stash to
And
new
his hair.
Chief with his salt and pepper
Yeah.
goatee. And all of the people in the hospital were mouthing it.
The
'Cause
speech.
They've heard it that many times.
They've heard the welcome speech.
I wish I could give it right now. Look
I-
around, you people.
There it is.
There's your competition.
Mm-hmm.
Seven of you will drop dead, 3 of you will drop out, and 4 of you will never come back.
Boom.
At least
Welcome
half
to
of
the
you
game.
in this room are going to die some terrible death. Probably most of you in this hospital.
You little girl over there, you will be shot.
Oh my goodness. It was cute though.
Yeah.
Shot, plane crash, impaled by an ice cube.
I know, electrocute. Yep. Yeah, you. How tall are you? 5'2". Electrocution. That's you.
Electrocution. There was a lot of different things that happened in this episode. Owen doesn't want to be the chief anymore. That was a big
And he really
weird.
didn't give a reason. He just felt like
He said, but he kind of gave a reason. He was saying how April's changed, and he's like, I'm changed as well.
I'm changed
I don't want to be
as
the chief. See?
Well, I feel like something happened overseas, and I love the predictions that people were saying online. Someone said that maybe April overseas maybe had a thing, not with Owen, but with maybe someone else, and maybe that's why she's all changed. Like, I don't really know, but I want that the last year to kind of unfold a little bit more about what happened overseas, a little bit, right?
Well, and a year has passed.
A year has passed.
It's funny, like how a year in the last episode we see a year did pass, and it's like overnight.
Right.
Because I even forgot that.
And
I
if
was
they
like,
were going to change all of their hair, they should have done it last week. At
They
the end of
did.
the year. All of them came back at the end of the year with the new haircut.
Yes.
That's when Joe was short, too.
I believe so.
I didn't notice Joe last week.
Me neither.
I didn't notice Joe. I'm
this
lying.
week.
I didn't notice Joe, but I noticed April had the haircut. Mm-hmm. Because that was like the first, like, wow, April's back.
But seriously, a year goes by, Maggie doesn't have a boyfriend, Stephanie doesn't have a boyfriend. Come on.
Yeah.
they're focused on the job.
They
Oh,
are.
here's another thing about Owen. I think that maybe the show is playing into the fact that he's leaving his chiefship because he wants to be with Amelia. They had all of these little glancy moments throughout
Yeah.
the whole episode.
I see you over there in the ORs. I see you over there in the hallway.
Oh, hey, who's sitting behind me? It's you again. They just had several of those.
Yeah, they did. I feel like that could be a storyline that we'll probably get into for next year because she's grieving right now. So hopefully we'll get into that. I don't know if I'm feeling it. Jason's not feeling any of this conversation. Oh my God, he's coughing on our fans.
I'm sorry, AfterBuzz. I'm not my normal jovial
I think he just
self.
fell asleep with his eyes open.
This is cruel and unusual punishment by these two women.
Ridiculous.
It's
So
okay.
anyways,
we'll take it from here, and you just lean forward, try not to cough, and give us stuff if you have it.
Yeah, a few. So okay,
the other huge part of this was the wedding.
Which
Yes.
okay, I'll wait for that.
One
The wedding was
second, I found
stupid. First of all, it was not needed. You have this one scene where Catherine Avery, who by the way just shows up and just like this is my hospital. I can come whenever I want. I own like 45% of it. She's just so not needed in the show.
I love that about her.
Yeah, like she just comes in when she feels
She's
like
so
it.
frivolously written into the show because she's Debbie Allen and she's a legend.
Well, I heard that she's the new executive producer of the show.
What?
I saw that on her page
Whoa.
today.
Oh, on her page.
Yeah, and and they were like, "Congratulations, Debbie Allen." On
See, that's why
it
this
sounded
is
like
perfect.
she doesn't run her own page. It was on Instagram.
Okay, but this is why it's perfect, you guys, because there's all of these characters in Grey's Anatomy, and a lot of them are similar to each other.
Right.
True.
And she is out of left field. She's older, she's powerful, she's everyone's boss, and she knows it.
Yeah.
And she babies her son. This person is hysterical.
Yeah, it's a good character.
I like her.
And I love that she was just, hanging out, getting her nails done, getting her hair done, getting ready for the wedding. And Avery's like, I'm the best. What is she? He's the maid of honor, which is hilarious that he is the maid of honor.
And Bailey was the best man.
Yeah, I was like, okay, a little juxtaposition there. It was kind of cute. But it was interesting because at that moment, that's when breaking news happens on the TV. Their pagers go off, and then we cut back to the hospital, and that's when we realize that there has been a big trauma that's going on in Seattle, and bridge collapse on the
Right.
tunnel.
But we didn't know for a while.
Yeah,
and
we didn't-
neither did the doctors.
Yeah.
The thing about Seattle is something's always collapsing there. Remember when they had the big sinkhole? The
Yeah,
season per season?
things
I'm
are
like,
happening.
Here's the thing. These people should be smarter than to plan their weddings in Seattle. If you want to have a wedding, you leave.
Yeah,
You
yeah.
go
Get
to-
off
right.
of this continent.
Or just
Seriously, Japan wedding. We can't come back. Sorry.
can't come back. It's not
But
happening.
tsunamis and stuff happen in Japan.
So all the ambulances come in, and they're DOA.
They're what?
They're called
DOA.
Amherst.
Yes, they were calling it an Amherst.
No,
The
Amherst.
hearse.
Amherst. No.
No,
They're
they
calling-
call
it's not an
them
ambulance.
hearse.
It's a hearse.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought we were making it a new nickname,
Like
Yeah,
hashtag
sure.
Amherst.
like an Amber Hearst.
No, sorry.
Amber Hearst. Okay, fine.
I like it.
So
It's an hashtag Amherst.
We're starting it tonight. If you like it, tweet us. Speaking of, tweet us. If you guys are joining in on the conversation, use our hashtag GraysABTV. We love to join the conversation. We're also on YouTube throughout the week. It's streaming live right now, so make sure you guys check it out and get in on the conversation ASAP.
Get in.
Let's do some shout outs because we have several people who say this is the
love-
first time I've talked to you guys.
Yeah, oh, I
And
love
we're
that.
so excited about that.
I feel like our fans aren't going to come. There's not going to be that many people that come and watch the show this week because the show just. You guys say it was a great episode. I don't think it was that great.
Really?
I don't think it was needed.
I
Where
loved
people are going to
it.
be like, I really need to know their opinions on it because I don't know. My opinion on the show was just okay. But that's just me being a brat.
So here's
saying.
Dynamite
Jack,
Jack,
yeah.
A Drop of Magic,
Julie.
Go for it.
AC Queen,
Who else do we got?
Deborah Battle,
Oh, my headband matches the
GA
microphone.
Lover.
Thanks, Dynamite
C.
Jack.
Olivera, Kay Dallas. Kyle White, Alicia Harding.
Oh, you got a drop of magic?
Okay, here's Savannah,
I was with Savannah with a lot of numbers.
Megan Winks, Ashley Nicole. You guys are some of the new ones. Welcome to the family.
Yeah, we're glad to have you guys. So much fun to have new friends and fans to the show.
Also, the nutrition soldier at Decode Life.
Rietna Buron.
Caitlin Cater-Skurwidge.
Man,
Sorry.
we have such a great Grace family.
It's true.
Seriously, this is what we all do on Thursdays.
No, this is what I do all weekend long. I'm like, so what were they saying? What did they think? Oh my God, they have a better prediction than I had. Like,
Sometimes
I get
I
jealous.
forget, and then Thursday I wake up and there's notifications on my phone and I'm giddy.
you're like, yay.
And then the whole day it's about to come and there's only 1 week left.
I know, next
What
week's the
am I
finale.
gonna do all summer?
No, what you're gonna do is you're gonna binge watch season 11 again and really get into it and really see the little nuances that we may have missed because when we're watching the show we're dissecting it. So it's one thing when back and
you're on the crash site. I mean, you're on the site of the trauma.
Right.
There's more people to save out there. That was weird that they got
true.
back. There was a lot of loopholes again that made me think like
the season is a season of loopholes.
it's a season of loopholes, and
time.
it's kind of like, well,
lame. Like the editing is they're trying their hardest to give you such a consistent story, but they're also trying. I feel like the dynamic between all the characters and then trying to have patient stories is kind of throwing them like, all right, I would rather them focus on the doctors and ixnay patient stories for an episode and just have it be about the drama.
an episode.
That would be so boring.
It wouldn't.
Last week, maybe it's because it was 2 hours, but this episode flew by to me.
Yeah.
I couldn't take my eyes off it. I had to pee the whole time, and I didn't because it was so good.
Yeah, so good. I love that.
Seriously, and here's the thing: they were finally on location. I love it when they go out and save lives somewhere besides the hospital.
Well, it was interesting because they were like, Meredith is not cleared to go out on the field because she was out for a whole year being absent. I'm glad someone finally said it. Like, do not give her special treatment. She like just didn't even do a leave, like a call. What is it? Is it a leave of absence?
LOA. She didn't
even do that.
She was
just
MIA.
MIA,
She was
exactly.
She was MIA, homie.
And Chief was like, or they were like, you can give her special
And
treatment.
he's
He's like,
yes,
I
can.
can.
But but he's coming from a place of
Why?
That's Ellis's daughter. like.
That's my daughter-in-law,
Right, exactly.
basically, kind of a thing. Or
I feel like he has an affinity for her in that sense that it was his job to protect her when Ellis died, and he made that promise to Ellis.
yeah, but sending her out on the field when she just had such a traumatic year was the wrong call.
Well,
there was a lot of wrong calls tonight.
Here's the thing, though. She hasn't been exhibiting any kind of like weird.
Time's been freezing. Time has stopped.
But
she's doing a lot of
reflecting, right?
I'd have let her go.
You would let her go?
I mean, maybe she's out of practice. She has been out for a year, but she was seriously going with 3 of the best surgeons in the hospital.
True that.
I feel like she could have just
Right.
assisted.
She handled it.
And Meredith has a way of just remembering things that the other doctors don't and coming up with solutions.
She's brilliant.
Yeah.
All right, fine. Moving on.
But they are trying to find a new chief replacement. That's another storyline.
Yeah, which is fun because I want to call him Chief. What's his name? Weber was like, Bailey, you're the one. You're going to be the one.
I've heard that before.
I've heard that story. I was like, didn't I hear that story before? Oh, yeah.
Twice.
That was, yeah. It was like he was calling Wolf is what she said. And she's like, I can't deal with it. But it is true. She's on the board. Karev's not. So maybe she's going to want it. But I don't know why she would want to be chief. There's so much going on in that hospital.
In my memory, for some reason, I thought Karev got the board seat. No?
No, remember,
I really think
Sandra left all his shares to...
But then the board decided together.
on Bailey.
Right.
And they decided on Bailey.
Right.
Right?
Did they? Guys.
Hey,
tweet us now.
Now, right now. Who
How come you
is
guys
on the
don't
board?
remember? Because Karev walked out upset. He was pissed.
I know. Guys, somebody tell us.
And then Bailey was in there and she was like screaming, I'm telling you. Oh my gosh, you guys don't believe me. Moving on. April's a hard ass in this episode. She's not optimistic like she usually is. What's the deal?
Correct. Okay.
I'll tell you what's the deal. She
went to war.
She went to war. My brother's been on 3 tours, and war will change you.
Well, duh.
And she lost her baby, so she's like, "Look, I'm done."
But I don't like that she lost that optimistic
But
spark about her. You know, she was just like, they're dead on arrival. Like, no one's coming. And they're like, they're coming. You know, like, usually she's the one, like, praying and hoping. And she just didn't have that hope this episode. We saw it at the end, but she didn't have it. There was something missing.
This is that glimmer in her eyes.
And her husband was saying she's different.
She's different.
She's changed. And honestly, my friend whose baby did pass away, completely different.
She's a different person.
She does not have time for crap anymore.
Yeah.
I mean, like, I just saw her blossom into a totally different person.
Interesting.
She just, like, doesn't take it from anyone. Like, life is short, and I do what I want.
And I do what I want.
Yeah, and I think that's where April's at. But I'm with you. That's a huge part of her, and that was a huge part of Arizona, and we're seeing that lacking in both of them.
Right.
That's true.
Who's the optimistic person now?
But why does there have to be that? Why
Joe?
Why?
Because that's part of life, and then you can't have all the characters be the same. Oh,
told
you.
you.
Voted Bailey.
Right.
She got the
Bailey
board
got
seat.
the seat. Thank you, Josh.
Okay.
Josh,
I
the intern,
remembered it
amazing.
Duh.
Amazing.
I watched the
amazing.
show right next to these people, and they don't remember.
Starr, you know what? She gets a gold star.
Thank you.
Round of applause for Starr Session.
I don't. I guess I remember Bailey having a failure, and I thought that was it.
It was like the cliffhanger of her not being able to get it, and she felt like they were loving all Karev. go back and watch the episode. Like Jason said, this summer we're gonna have to go back and rewatch and soak it all in one more time.
I'm loving the cold and humanity switch off April. I think they've given her more depth because
yes, ton of our fans are saying that.
The thing is the Jesus, the Bible thumper, and the whole like. Okay, first of all,
some Christians don't love that term.
I'm sorry. I apologize. The devout.
I thump that Bible. Okay. I love it. So go for it.
The devout. I have faith as well, ladies. Jeez. But I love how there's such a totally different dynamic and a parallel between April from 2 episodes ago till now. Even like it's like she's like.
She has the best job on this show. She gets to be like 20 different characters in one character. You know what I mean?
And she gets to be married to Jackson.
Yeah, hello, and make out with him and jump his bones like last week. Like, so fun.
Sexy. She's more attractive. She's more intriguing. She's more beguiling. She's more so many things now that she is more human and more relatable. Some of these
words, I go home and I like look them up and I'm like, dang it, he did say that word right.
Well, sorry, you said cooperate one time. And I was like, good girl.
Good girl.
Good girl. But so like, I hope that next season we get more of that from April because she has this masculine air about her, and I know I'm not trying to say she's a lesbian or anything like that. Don't get that twisted. But I think there's a powerful sexiness about her.
She's becoming her own, as one of our fans said. She's really grown into this character, and she's learning out who she is. You know, she was this young girl with faith and who was just learning about the world, and I feel like she's gone through so much traumatic things. You grow up in life, and I feel like her character grew up.
Maybe yes, but this has always kind of been April to me. Under it all, she was the best trauma surgeon.
Oh, well.
Remember, she's been winning the contest. They put her, like, she's
We're not taking away her talent. We're saying her character.
Now. She's from full fruition of who she is now.
Yeah, that has nothing to do with her talent. Her
like
talent has always been
leveled
there.
Up.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Level up, middle part.
Boom.
Yeah. Red hair.
Loving it. Okay, so let's talk about the patient that comes in.
There was a couple of them, yeah.
Yeah, so we have this one lady. She's pregnant. She comes in with this really hot guy. And, oh my gosh. So he comes in, and he's like saying what's going on with him. With her, she's having 5-minute attractions, 5 minutes apart. And you're like, who are you? He's like, I'm a doctor. Did he say I'm a doctor?
No, I think he said he's a surgeon. Stephanie was literally like, who are you? And we're like, finally, Stephanie got a
we were really like,
and
who are you?
Is perfect.
Yeah, we were like, ooh, Andrew McLuca. I was like, is he the new, or DeLuca? I was like, is he the new McDewey? I was thinking of all the fun names we can do with him. McLuca?
Mick, yes, please.
Mick, yes, please. They're so... Let's start it now. Let's get the hashtags going.
Well, how about Mick Deceptive?
No, he's a Mick intern.
Seriously. Yeah, so he comes in here and he's all
still
fun,
he's high.
And all the women are giving him all this respect, like, oh, Dr. DeLuca.
But then he was giving ideas, like, well, maybe we should do this next in surgery.
He was just coming off all confident.
Yeah, I'm believing it. They're believing it. They're like, that sounds like a great plan of action.
And we're all like, get in line, ladies, because he's for one of you.
Yes.
And then... he just, so this poor woman, Joan, she got some of the worst medical treatment we've seen on this
ever. Worse than Derek.
Seriously. And it seems to always happen to the pregnant women. You need to keep the dum-dums away from the pregnant women. Seriously. So she's laying there. They have her in a choke collar.
She's wondering about her husband.
Her boy, her
fiance.
After 3 days of knowing each other.
Yes.
Slut.
Love it.
Jason.
One night stand. No worries. It's true. She had a moment. She slutted it out. But they ended up being together. They're engaged. They're about to have a baby. They were heading to the hospital because she was having contractions. She told him to go through the tunnel, and then that's when the catastrophe happened.
Tunnel sank in.
Boom. They get her out of the car into the hospital. He's still impaled in the car. There's all this traumatic stuff going on. She's about to give birth. They end up putting a neck brace around her. And her spine. Here comes the dum-dum interns. They're like, our first day is amazing. People almost died. And people are like, and then they're like, what happened to that guy that was impaled in the car? Oh, who knows? He probably died. That's her fiance. Like, stupid stuff that interns do. Meredith has done it. All of them have done it before. Said something stupid in front of a patient.
These ones were stupidest, though.
Yeah.
I could have fired them all.
Yeah.
Today. I mean, there were several of them.
You got to F on your intern practice
anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah. Absolutely. You, and you already don't pass. You eating brie, you can stay.
Yes.
I would have done it too.
Yeah, with the brie and the grapes, I'm like, ooh, man, go on your way.
She can't breathe. So he thinks it's a neck collar, unhooks it, Immediately, she's paralyzed.
Right. She had a fracture at C5.
Her spine was dislocated.
Yes. And she said, I felt a shock through my whole body.
Yeah, so she can't feel anything. So they ended up getting it under control, kicking out dumb interns. And I love that Stephanie is taking charge.
Well, that's when we find out Dr. DeLuca is Stephanie's like, help me, you do this. I can't. I'm an intern. I was late. I was late today. I thought I could just sneak by because I'm gorgeous.
But I love that he came to his first day of work in a suit. Sexy.
With the hair all
Everything about him is not sexy anymore.
What? I'm still going to love him.
He was a big liar.
So what? I would go with it.
Go with it maybe, but just not to that point.
Oh, I get a free ride into work and I almost died in the tunnel. Like, I love that.
And I'm wearing this suit.
and my hair is looking just McDewy.
These curls, they just curl this way.
See, it's DeLuca, and so Dewey McDewy. I don't know. I'm still working on it.
Both of you.
Just stop.
Wow, I just witnessed the girliest actions ever in my life.
I'm sorry, it's DeLuca. You gotta.
He was sexy.
McLuca.
No, we'll go back to this. Whatever he blew it in my mind. I thought this was Stephanie's new love, and now he's
still
just
could be
disappointing to me.
Still could be. Meredith was an intern one time too.
Joe was an intern. I know. They get with the interns.
They get with the interns. It
because
happens.
they're the fresh meat. Sometimes you just want to wham
So this pregnant woman.
Yeah, she ends up having birth to the baby in the elevator.
Of course, because what doesn't happen in the elevator?
Yeah,
in this
which was fun. It was fun. She had to stay still, and who was holding her head? Somebody was holding her head. One of the doctors, and it was just
Arizona was in there.
Edwards. No, it was Callie was holding.
Maggie was in there too, though. Right?
Oh yeah, that's true. Because Maggie got an interesting phone call, which we don't know about, and I'm sure we'll find out in the finale next week.
Mom, what? My theory? I think her parents are getting divorced.
Huh. Yeah, they have the perfect family.
Yeah, that's what I think.
The so-called perfect family. That's a good one.
But those of us who have had babies, anytime they have a baby on a show, it's hysterical how huge they are.
Oh, the babies that come out?
They're like plump and fattened, and their face isn't a weird raisin shade. It's just, you're always like, that's cute. Yeah, let's let the rest of the world think that's what they come out looking like.
Yeah, that's so true. So
Instead
true.
Instead of an alien.
Well, while she was having the birth to the baby, she was like...
the birth to the baby?
Yeah, you caught that. Wow. While she was having birth of the baby...
No, she was giving birth to the baby.
Giving birth, Starr.
Sorry, you gotta get this under control before you have kids.
Wow,
I'm gonna be like, I'm having birth to a baby.
She is college educated. I know it.
I really am. Not so much. Anyways, so the baby comes out, but she's thinking about her poor fiance who was impaled in the car, and she's like, this is how it was supposed to happen. He was supposed to be here. It was really just a sad moment, but it was a great patient story, I would have to say.
I would have totally agree.
Yeah. And so the impaled guy, let's just skip there.
Let's just do it because this was my favorite part of the whole season.
Dun, 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 dun.
I'm not kidding you.
Go
whole
for it.
Season.
What happened?
So whenever they go on location, they go through all of these things, and they decide they can't help him. And it was Meredith, Maggie, Amelia, and April. They decide they can't help him. Those three go back. April stays. They're going to open it with the jaws of life. And then the three that are driving back are like, did we do everything we could? Why did we leave so soon? They're thinking about it. We don't see them for a while.
Right.
At the very end of the episode, they think that it's an ambulance. It's a tow truck with the collapsed car on the doubly impaled guy, and April standing there like a freaking superwoman.
Yes, with the low camera angle looking up. Mm.
We said if he had been closer to a hospital, he might have had time. Girl, I loved her.
I swear her eye twitched. It was like...
You know what?
Who cares?
If it did or it didn't, it was flawless.
No, what I'm saying is
brilliant.
that...
What are you saying, Jason?
That the corniness of her standing there was ridiculous.
Well, it gave her the optimistic... girl is coming back around. She's coming back into herself.
I don't think
Avery's
that.
saying that she's different. Maybe she had that inch of hope that we could save him.
Her training and her being so good at trauma and all the time that she's been in the army has made her even more resourceful.
Exactly.
No other doctors in the hospital would have
better than Meredith.
Back the car. She brought the car on a tow truck. She went for broke.
I love it. But let's talk about when they decided there's nothing we can do. to help this guy. And Meredith is like, they were going over all the different options and all the different ways that it could happen. And then they're like, we're just going to give up. But it was more April's idea. April's like, nothing's going to happen. I got this, ladies. Like, I'll do what I can. Go back to the hospital. Like, she was wearing the pants in the family on that one.
I'm with you, Starr. They should have helped other people.
There was so much trauma going on. It was just odd. They would get back in the ambulance and head back. Like, they didn't even bring anybody back with them. Like, it was so ridiculous.
It was
empty ambulance.
I didn't realize it until you said it, but now it bothers me.
Right. But let's talk about the conversation after.
Yeah, Amelia. Okay, first of all, Amelia, this whole death thing, I think it would have played out a lot better as if we would have had this episode. If Derek's death would have been the 2 hour part of the 2 hours, or the full 2 hours, and even spilled over into this episode a little bit, because Amelia's monologue was that had to come eventually, where she was going to be like, after she's done being in shock, like, Meredith, like, what happened? Why? I would ask the same question.
I'm with you,
Oh
Jason.
my God,
We needed this moment, but we needed it last week.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And so,
but
and
it was perfect.
Yeah, and then she was sly. She's like, oh, so that's what. And Meredith's like, what are you getting at? Like, she's not even connecting the dots.
How do you personally decide when somebody is going to die?
Yeah, she gave her the look of death.
Right.
And
the hallway,
and was like,
too.
give me an answer.
And here's the thing.
And she couldn't even say anything.
Okay, so a lot of people last week were like, why do you guys hate Amelia so much? But I've come to realize there's 2 types of viewers. There's people that watched her on Private Practice,
Exactly.
been through that journey with her, see everything that's behind her, and then there's us who just saw her as Derek's sister right now, and then hear the story secondhand.
Well, I watched Private Practice.
And you really don't feel that connection to Amelia like some of the viewers?
I liked strung out crackhead Amelia. I thought she was a better character than
I've
I feel
never
like
even
now.
seen her.
Yeah.
I feel like now on Grey's, she's forcing the issue, trying to be like the whole Save Dr. Gina Davis arc, and
I forgot about that.
It's just like she's trying so hard,
and
then her intensity as an actress, to me, I mean, she's a fantastic actress on Private Practice, but on Grey's, she's trying too hard, like the nostrils flaring, and it's just too much for me. It's too much.
She's too upset.
The outside part where she was yelling at Meredith, to me, that was great acting. The inside part, she teetered on a little over. But I really saw, I saw in her, I thought this was a super appropriate response.
I agree with you there. Super appropriate response. With that said,
Perfectly.
I feel like her acting was great on both. I feel like it was way better than last week.
Way better.
It was
than
more
last week.
believable, and everything that she asked is something we've been wanting to know. Like, we asked these questions last week or the week before. How are you going to pull the plug without calling your sister who's 20 minutes down the road?
I wanted to scream those same things at Meredith.
Right?
Their scene, though, tonight, for me, wasn't one of the best. Wasn't the best.
I wouldn't say it was one of the best.
But
I would just say it was believable, and I've been waiting for these questions to be asked.
I didn't think it was believable either.
I like it.
I felt like it could have been handled with less emotion, but more anger versus tears. I think it should have been more of like an aggressive conversation versus. I mean, of course there was aggression there, absolutely, but keep the tears out and have a woman-to-woman conversation about it. That would have been more fulfilling for me on TV than having them both cry about it.
Well, it was funny because in her speech, she was like, "I pull off miracles every day for a living."
I've proven
I
it.
was like. I love that you said that I do it for a living, and why wasn't I there? Because honestly, she should have been there to maybe even had a second opinion. Like
she should have been there for no other reason than she's a sister, and then there's 30 reasons on top of that.
Yeah, because she's also a great, phenomenal doctor.
She was going into logistics. How far away was this?
Yeah. Like, how did you know? At what time of day? It was just really interesting. Because when she walked out of the room and she was like, I'm over it, Meredith cracks.
Yeah.
She immediately is like...
This is one of the worst I've ever seen Meredith
Yeah,
crack.
we talked about her ugly cry already, but it was just a crack that was just kind of like... I'm going to throw stuff down, I'm going to kick it, and I'm mad, but I don't know where it was coming from. Was it coming from the fact that she was wrong?
Meredith?
Does Meredith think she was wrong?
I think it was coming from
Grief.
a place of like, I'm not over this.
Right.
And we saw...
She better not be over it. It's 1 year.
She goes up to Karev. She's like, my life just isn't moving on. She put her house up for sale. Doesn't feel like home anymore. She's moving back in with Karev.
Good for her.
Really?
Good for her.
That's going to cause some drama with Joe.
But Joe Schmo.
I feel like today's episode showed me that Joe might be off the show soon.
No.
That's how I felt.
I don't think so. She's like a star right now.
She she's wanting to go to war. She's wanting to do all these bigger and better things. Maybe she's outgrowing the hospital. Maybe she's learned what she could. maybe she's gonna go to war and be
I
off
don't
the
think
show.
so. I do see problems for their relationship, which makes me sad. But
That'll be fun
that's
drama.
What it was. She wanted them to go do the same army thing, go to army, and he was like, "Yeah, no, I really invested here. I'm not doing that." And then he, like Karev always does, goes from 0 to way over the top.
Yeah, that's true. He always does. But someone predicted a couple weeks ago that Karev, though, you know, when he came to the hospital as Meredith's husband, that after she gave birth to the baby, people were predicting that since that's her new person, that might be her new love interest.
I've heard that several times.
And he was like, and Meredith's finally back to Joe.
Yeah.
I don't know how I feel about that, guys.
I think it's happening.
It's kind of like incest, if you ask me.
Yeah,
a little bit.
I'm not down. I'm not down with that.
So there was another patient story that we can't forget. There was a little boy that came in. He was 17 years old. He was hanging out with his 7-year-old dorky friends, and they were driving through the tunnel. They come into the hospital, and Owen has the great idea of we need to give him hypothermia, drain his blood, give him hypothermia, make him...
Suspended animation.
Boom, there it is. And then...
Suspended animation?
I don't know. Who knows?
That sounds...
That's what...
I don't think it was a good idea. That seems odd.
It was a really bad idea, and Avery was completely against it. He had some great points on why he was against it. Here comes Catherine saying, this is a dumb idea. Why are we talking about this? He doesn't even have consent. And then here comes Owen, and he's like, all we need is 2 surgeons to say that we have consent. And it was who?
The chief?
No, someone else. And then the chief undermined his soon-to-be wife.
It was Karev and the chief. I cannot believe he undermined his wife. Good for him.
On their wedding day.
Good for him. You know...
No, it's not about undermining his wife. I mean, I guess the kid lived, but this hadn't been done on a human before.
It was only done on pigs.
I love that the 17-year-old kids did the research and was like...
They're like, we're nerds, and we know this because we have smartphones.
Phones. Yeah, we did a Google search, okay?
And this is only done on pigs.
Yeah, Siri let us know. Not the way to go. They were risk-taking, and it was just not the way to go. And even Owen said it at the end to Avery, like, I'm sorry, it was a big risk. But he was kind of like, but it worked.
I do like it when the doctors in the hospital clash on the risks.
Oh, yeah.
I like it. I like the point, counterpoint. I kind of agree with them all at some point. But the thing, I really am sad. I'm sad that they fought on their wedding day and that they might be breaking up.
Yeah.
But that's interesting for her to be like, I own this hospital.
She's going to...
I get to choose a chief.
Yeah. I don't like that she's holding that over his head. That is ridiculous. Catherine, take a step back and just relax. Like, just because you own the hospital, I understand that could have been a huge lawsuit for them and more money out of the hospital that they don't even have. So I don't, which of course they have because it's Grey's Anatomy. Like, of course they have it. But I don't know. Interesting episode today.
I hope they don't break up. I hope they still get married.
Yeah, we'll see.
We shall see.
Well, we have a lot of predictions to cover because this was part 1 of the season finale of season 11. Let's do some predictions.
And now, your AfterBuzz TV predictions.
Oh, so much. Who wants to go first?
I guess that's me. So we see in next week's episode a lot of drama's gonna happen.
What I loved about the preview for next week, they didn't tell us any lies.
Yeah,
they're just like it's gonna be crazy.
It's gonna be crazy. Someone could die.
I feel like
a relationship could break up.
It's gonna be not like the shooter. It's gonna be kind of low key finale.
Well, I think it's still gonna go with this whole tunnel ordeal. I feel like we're gonna be still in the trauma of the tunnel. No.
Yeah. Oh, absolutely.
Yeah. So, I mean, I feel like we're going to have some more patient stories there. I feel like Joe and Karev are going to be on the rocks for sure because she's going to find out that Meredith might be moving in with her 3 kids. Talk about overbearing and ridiculous. And I don't know, the chief and Catherine, I feel like they're gonna break up. You see her taking off her wedding ring and shoving it in his. They gave us a ton of previews to work with. I'm sure some of them are going to be twist and turn that aren't going to be true.
I'm predicting we get more of the April backstory. Avery is so not interesting to me this season.
He's not.
But
yeah, I think he knows
I'm loving. I think April. I want.
It's about April.
I want to see what's going on with her, and I predict that we get maybe a more glimpse into because first of all, the show has been renewed for season 12, so I hope that we get a foreshadow of what's to come in season 12 as far as April's character goes.
All right. Well, here's all mine.
Are you ready? Ready,
Okay.
Jules? Fire.
I think that crushed under the car guy is going to live. I think
we got to figure out.
I think that even if it doesn't turn into a real romantic relationship, I think that the Meredith Karev relationship might break up him and Joe, at least for now.
Yeah.
I hope the chief still marries Catherine, so I'm just going to go ahead and predict that. I predict super, super sad stuff in the future for April and Avery, like maybe close to divorce. Hope it doesn't happen, but I think it will. I think Stephanie will still hook up with this intern.
Yes, duh.
Because he lies, but hello.
He's still Do we like that? We don't know. We don't like
we're
him.
going back.
McLuscious.
And I, like I said before, I think Maggie's parents are getting a divorce or something like that.
Yeah, we haven't revealed what happened in that phone call yet. So let's.
So
forward.
much. I mean, I'm looking forward to it just because it's Grey's, and I'm not looking forward to it because it's the last
finale.
one of the season.
And I have a little news, everyone. I kind of talked about it on Twitter today, but next week, I will not be here for the finale. So I will be live tweeting as much as possible. I'm so sorry that I can't be here. I will be out of town, and I'm going to miss you guys. And we'll have next season together.
Yes.
All of us together.
Together.
No.
Together, baby.
So let's just rank the episode.
Okay.
I'm in the 9s.
I'm in the 9s. I'm an 8.
I'm a 9.2.
Okay, I was going to say like a 7.8, which is close to an 8, so we'll give it an 8.
An 8.
Boom.
Awesome. We'll see you guys next week for the
And I will not be sick.
finale.
Yes.
Finale.
I'll miss you guys. I love you.
Thank you guys for watching. Until next time, I'm Jason J. Carter. You can find me online. I'm at Twitter, JDC Forever. Also on Instagram at Jason Carter Official.
Please continue the conversation at #GraysABTV. We're always there.
Absolutely.
I'm Julie Partin. You can find me on all social media at JuliePartin.
All right, guys. So I will not be here next week, but you can find me on all things social media at Starr Session. And I will be live tweeting as much as possible next week. I love you guys so much.
Mwah.
Mwah, mwah, mwah. See you guys soon.
Bye, guys.
From executive producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, and the entire AfterBuzz TV staff, we would like to thank you for listening to the AfterBuzz TV network. To watch or listen to other after shows and post comments or questions, be sure to visit AfterBuzzTV.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of AfterBuzz TV.
Buzz you later.
The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of AfterBuzz TV or its owners or principals.